Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Today. It's your Executive Director, David Liu.
And Candace Montgomery, Life Enrichment Director.
Your second performance.
I know.
You did great last week.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And of course, I couldn't help it. I was walking around and I saw us up on the big screens around the building.
Yeah.
So it's there. So pretty cool and exciting. Well, this week, I think the first thing we've got to do is look backwards. We always love to reflect back, and we had some guests here from Lakewood.
Yes. I loved how they came off their bus with their pom-poms and everything.
Yeah.
They were excited.
Yeah. Did you rub it in that they couldn't put a team together for...
I did mention it to a few folks.
Okay.
Yes. I had to just, especially after they, took home the trophy.
Well, and they had 16 come. But again, I guess we have to be understanding that they don't have the beautiful bus we have.
Right.
That they don't have the energized, enthusiastic residents that we have.
Exactly.
So whether it's swimming or filling a bus to come to a nice Iron Chef. So anyways, but their chef did do a nice job.
Yes.
And again, it was a wonderful Iron Chef. Chef Julian, Tyler, Neil represented us well. You could have flipped a coin, but really just a great event, and it was cool.
It was.
So I said this to you and to Tiffany and others. I really praised the team because you can judge us on our meal. To me, I just look at the whole production. The room was extraordinary.
It was.
You watched Tiffany and Charlene and Patricia Johnson. Doug, I'm sure, was in there.
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure who else. But they
So many people.
set up the room. The organization, the orchestration of it. Paula, Bruce, all did great. You, Isaiah, were in there helping the event, doing your thing. That was cool. We put Brenda on her toes.
I know.
Did she get some sales from
She
our little
did.
20% discount?
She did. She had about 700, I believe, but she, I think, had a small little heart attack when you said the 20% off.
So, but that's cool.
Yeah.
And the way the room looked, the way things were. Did you get any feedback from any of the, I know 16 of the residents, I think they all went on a tour. Did you get any pickup or any thoughts that you heard from that group?
Yes, so lots of folks took a tour afterwards, which was nice to walk off some of the calories from that meal. But all the feedback that I heard was just how warm and inviting everything is here. Residents were so, welcoming and accommodating. So that was the biggest takeaway. I mean, Lakewood has nice amenities as well, but it's the atmosphere is what I always hear about the Chesapeake.
Yeah. So I heard two things. Travers Mayhew, he shared with me, David, I went on that tour, and we went up to that crafts room or art studio. That's a nice room.
Wow. Had he not been there before?
He hadn't. Now, I probably just did a terrible impersonation of you. I'm sorry I even changed my voice. But Travers shared that with me. And he also said the Lakewood people were like, what a neat room.
Yeah.
So we have these amenities, not to suggest they're hidden, but they are there.
Sure.
But the other one was, again, this will, warm Brenda's heart. Because one of the individuals who came in and purchased from Brenda walked out, saw Jonathan Cook and I in the lobby. And this woman opens up her bag to show Jonathan, look at this clothing I got. And 20% off. Jonathan, why don't we have one of these at Lakewood?
Uh-oh.
And this is a little bit of a touch point with Jonathan because he's always questioning, is it a good value?
Sure.
How does it work?
Right.
And I just winked at him. He said, yeah, Loop, I know. So Brenda, it was definitely worth the 20%.
Yeah,
that alone.
definitely.
So that was good.
Awesome.
It was even, for me, it was the first time that their executive director, Heather Crumbaugh, had been here.
Right.
We took a real extensive tour.
Yeah.
And showed her about everything. And good exchange of ideas, which is what it's all about. When you have 5 communities like LifeSpare, we get learn from each other and grow and challenge each other and have fun, but really cool.
Yeah, because each campus does things so differently.
Yeah. In fact, they learned a lot from us, but then last Friday, Bruce went up to Lakewood. Did you hear what he was checking out?
I know.
What was it?
The robot.
A robot. So, I guess that could be, I always think about I know it was a World War II advertisement for a different reason, but when I think of a robot, I think of Rosie. Rosie is from the Jetsons. Now, I'm also thinking about Rosie the Riveter.
Right.
That World War II campaign, I think, of women working and building airplanes. So
Sure.
Rosie Riveter, Rosie the Robot. We'll come up with a better name, but if we get a robot in the dining room, to be a runner.
We should have a naming contest.
How can they run, though? I've seen robots with legs. It's going to be a crawler.
Yeah.
It's going to be I don't know, something.
I think residents will get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it could be a name each week.
Yeah.
You know, it's either I love you or I hate you.
Right.
You know, where's my food?
Depending on, right, how it takes feedback. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So,
That'd be cool.
so robots, yeah, more and more to come. But Bruce was visiting
Interesting.
that.
The way of the future.
So between the Iron Chef, all of that. I guess the other thing we do need to mention about Iron Chef, I don't know the exact date yet, but Chef Julian is going to be pushing that menu out so that you can experience his wonderful scallops with risotto. It had a beautiful sauce with it. It was just, it was served hot. It was delicious. His really, it was more of an Italian preparation of the tenderloin, and it was stuffed with prosciutto and a little bit, I think, had either asparagus or something real fine in there, and then had a very unique sauce. The smashed potatoes, the carrots, the green beans, wonderful. The bread pudding, and with or without bourbon sauce.
Right.
So you can make your decision. But so that menu will hit, and you'll be able to try that. So that's coming.
Excellent.
So a good from last week.
Definitely. The presentation of all the food was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was top of the line.
Facebook page, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and again, because we want more residents to experience it, is why Bruce felt it was so important to get
Yeah.
that on the menu.
That's nice.
But I would suggest that was the finest meal served on the peninsula that day.
Definitely so. All the
And,
residents kept wondering how they were going to make room for everything
Yeah,
that came
yeah,
out.
yeah. I think you know, tastings became plates.
They became plates. They were big plates.
So it
Yeah.
was good. So that's a really cool reflection. What else last
Definitely.
week? Anything else we're missing?
I'm trying to think. I think that was the big buzz around the
Yeah.
campus was the Iron Chef. That
Yeah.
was the big buzz for
Yeah.
sure. So
Um,
now I think it's going to be competition for the other.
Yeah, for the other
Campuses.
campuses. But here's something else, though, and I think this is something that you and I will have to. We can do a little urging to
Okay.
Julian. Suggest that we'll be happy to film it and feature, but he invites 3, maybe 4 of his supporting culinarians, sous chefs, or chefs or cooks,
Yeah.
and they compete in the Chesapeake room. They actually have induction cooking in front of them.
Yeah, that would be
And,
nice.
and maybe they're at one end of the room. At the other end of the room, we get Cisco to bring in a couple of their vendors, and it's just sampling of new foods, appetizers, etc.
Okay.
So what do the residents do? They come in, they sample.
Yeah.
Then they get to test the 4 market basket preparations from our cooks and select a winner. So the residents would be the judges. And then we would have a beautiful embroidered coat, a chef's coat, black, white, whatever the preferable
Yeah.
look was. Maybe a special hat. And that plus some other bragging rights to the winner.
Definitely.
So, making it an event, bringing in Cisco, you may have something else. You could always spoil it and bring in Selena
I
and
know.
talk about you, and you could get on your wellness hat.
I know. That was what I told all the folks at Iron Chef. I was like, yeah, you have to do the tour after you eat
Yeah.
because now you've got to work off of that
So
food.
and think about that. May be your biggest challenge to your new role. Here you were the princess queen of fitness.
Yeah.
And now you're the princess queen of food and fun
I
and
know.
fitness. You got to do all
It's
this.
such
So
a balance. It's
Yeah.
a balancing act for
yeah.
sure.
So
Definitely.
what fun. Okay, so good stuff last week.
Yeah.
One other thing, I'll just do a little
Sure.
a promo, and that is really a wonderful meeting with Ken Nolan, Lucianne Hancock, and 4 from our leadership team regarding Next Step. Next Step is an initiative, a program of helping our team members determine the next step in their career growth. And it could be within the avenue they've already set themselves on. It could be moving from culinary to health services, going to be from a CNA to a nurse. So many different things. But it's about not only having a mentor to assist them, to guide them, but to help them identify funding sources. The Next Step Commission will be approving grants, dollars to be added to any VBH scholarships that come forth. But it's just a collective initiative of saying, to be an employer of choice, we've got to invest in our team, help them grow. And more importantly, our residents and their rich backgrounds are phenomenal mentors. So it's really taking shape. So more to come on that, but if you'd ever want to mentor, get a hold of Lucianne or Ken. You want to donate to the scholarship fund, wonderful. If you want to make something different happen here for our grants, let us know. But it's just invest in our team members so they can better serve you and truthfully be better prepared in making a difference in our society. So good to
Definitely.
come.
And I think residents are always so supportive of seeing folks continue that growth.
Yep.
I mean, even me transitioning into this position, they've
That's
all
right.
just been so supportive and
Yeah.
wonderful. So it's always like nice to see that because they are that extended family and they're rooting for you.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. And again, you say that wonderful word, Candace, and that's family.
It
I
is.
just think as you and I, our biggest challenge and opportunity with all is to continue to embellish the field, the presence, the culture of family. And that's what we're here to do.
Definitely so.
Cool. So anyways, just wanted to acknowledge that, and just a shout out to those two residents and others to help us with that next step at a neat program.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at this week.
We're going to look at this week. We've got some big things coming up this week in the entertainment front. We have John Durfee coming on the 23rd. That's at 7:30. The 24th, we have a travelogue with you.
Yes.
Traveling to Spain.
Yeah. In fact, what I'll do is tease the residents with a couple unusual stops in Albania, because of course Vera and I visited her family, did some things there, and it wasn't Switzerland, but we sure climbed every mountain. And we were, I say Switzerland, I guess it was Austria, to be correct on the Sound of Music. But it was definitely, we climbed some mountains, had some unique pictures. Going to show them some pictures of Lake Ohrid. It's the most pristine natural lake, second largest in the Balkans.
Wow.
And you're looking across this huge body of water. And just because of the economy and what exists over there, no boats, no motorboats.
Wow.
Literally, the fishermen are out in almost rowing vessels.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just pristine. I
Yeah.
mean, it's absolutely a lake I would just drink the water.
Right.
But then there are some phenomenal fish that come from it. One is a Koran, one is a Belushka. But they're lake trout, just very wonderful, delicate fish that they produce. So pictures of enjoying that fish in this wonderful little restaurant, literally right by the water. Nice salad. I was good that day.
Oh, good.
And just a neat thing. So a couple features like that, and then we'll hop into all the favorites expected in Barcelona, all of Gaudi's construction, particularly Sagrada Familia, and his Park Güell is beautiful, and a couple of his other buildings and mansions that he was commissioned to do. And then we'll do where the Olympics were, and then the waterfront, and mega yachts, $100 million yachts that I'll show you. One of them, because you can Google the yacht, and you'll see the sheik that owns it, and then it'll tell you estimated operating costs annually just to operate the yacht, $10.8 million.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
So biggest ships, biggest yachts I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take the residents up to Madrid and just the capital city. I really enjoyed that. NATO was there while we were there, some unique elements there. Took a little train ride over to Toledo. Toledo doesn't sound very glamorous because I came from Ohio, and Toledo, Ohio's okay. Sorry, Susan Cowling, I know you're from Toledo. But Toledo, Spain, phenomenal.
Wow.
This city built up on a mountain, and then the cathedral, one of the second largest in all of Spain. Just it is gorgeous. So that's the preview. So if you want to come,
that was enticing for sure.
and then you never know what sweet endings there may be to that evening. So we'll have a travelogue next week.
That would be very
Thank
nice.
you for that commercial.
Oh, sure.
At least the
Perfect.
opportunity.
The 25th, we do have Town Hall, our usual for the month, and then Birthday Bash that evening with Jennifer Gamble. She's been here before. She's part of our Doorway Singer group that comes for Christmas at Chesapeake. So she also does a solo act, and it's jazz. So
Very
that
nice.
will be fun for a birthday bash, just
Yeah.
trying to create that fun atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that's our week in a snapshot.
Okay. Well, I think all those things are occurring. I know exercises are happening. You may update residents next week at Town Hall, but what's your prediction? I know finding a replacement for you is tough. So I'm
thanks
sure
for
NIFS is going to be struggling
They
because you
are
can never
struggling.
replace anybody. They can't fill your shoes.
No.
But what are your thoughts? Is this in the near future? How long do you guesstimate?
I hope the near future. I'm going to be optimistic and say the near future, but they are kind of struggling, as the world is, with just finding good candidates. And my recent conversations with NIFs, they're not in a hurry just to put someone there just to have someone there. So they really want it to be the right fit. So
Okay.
I'm happy they're taking that time.
And I trust you'll have a rubber stamp on that.
Oh, yes. I've already told them I need like the final
Good.
seal of approval.
And I guess to Jasmine, thank you for her efforts,
Yes.
because I'm sure she's trying to keep programming going.
She's doing a lot.
Okay, well, we'll have to praise and thank Jasmine as you see her.
Yes,
So very
definitely.
important. So that's it. And I haven't heard, and maybe the two of us will have to get an update on how Rose is doing.
She is finally getting cleared to come back.
Is she?
So second week of September, she should be back full scale of everything.
And of course, we're talking about Rose Winter,
Yes.
massage extraordinaire, Yogi Berra,
Right.
and all that stuff. So that's Rose. So
Oh my goodness.
good. Well,
And thank goodness she has those yoga practices, and being a retired physical therapist, she kind of knows how to heal herself.
let's hope she does it right.
I know.
Because isn't it always the adage that the specialists, the last thing to do is take care of themselves.
I know. This
So
is true.
let's hope
This
she
true.
is smarter than the average bear.
I know.
I'm really getting a Yogi Bear today. Okay.
But we're thankful to have her coming back for sure,
Yeah.
because she's a hard one to replace as
Yeah.
well. She's
Well,
good
very
at what
cool.
she does. Yes.
Well, we're good to get her back and get this position filled. And residents, just remember, with Isaiah now being our full-time program coordinator, am I getting close on the title?
Yes, that's perfect.
And today he is our executive producer
Yes.
and videographer. So he is here with us, ensuring perfection on this. But with Isaiah being his full-time, that's awesome. Still want to get that part-time position filled.
Yes,
So,
working on that.
residents, think about this. You never know. You may have a friend, a neighbor, someone who's, oh yeah, their student is coming to be a freshman at CNU, or maybe whatever. Maybe they would want to work part-time hours.
Yeah.
So think about it. We've got to even challenge ourselves, because I think Laura Wooten from our home office and Paula Bolton, they both have children here. So maybe we could send a little note to describe the position
Yeah.
and say, please forward this to your CNU student.
Right. That's
And,
a good point.
And then we'll put a little bit on, Laura's VP of HR. She's got to want to help us. And
Right.
Paula would too. So that's
a
Paula
good point.
Bolton, a different one. But again, two of our folks from home office, Richmond or Culpeper area, that got young folks at CNU.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of CNU, I'm off the cuff a little bit here,
Yeah.
but my Rotary Club is going to do a tailgate. Did you know that for the first time ever, CNU's football team is playing the apprentice football team?
Oh, wow. That's
I think
big.
it's September 17th.
Oh, wow.
So with the apprentice schools team not really being from a conference, it's just sort of this intercity
Interesting.
potential rivalry. So you have
That's
to think
cool.
about it, whether any residents would want to go to
Yeah.
a Saturday evening football game.
Fun.
A little different, but I'm pretty sure it's September 17th.
Yeah.
My Rotary Club's going to have a little social that night, so I'm going to try to get there for sure. But
would be great.
just FYI, a new piece of information that I learned of here in Newport News.
Yeah, and I live so close to CNU, and I can hear their band playing.
Yeah.
Last night they were playing till 8:30. They have long practices. I can just hear them when I'm out on my back
Getting
porch.
ready for football
I
season.
know.
Awesome.
It's that time of year.
Yeah.
But that would be fun.
So that's that, and I know there also is the release from Ferguson Center of the Broadway tickets.
Yes.
So I don't know if we've
That's
gotten
huge.
residents or not, but hopefully we'll get also transportation, work that out. I'd love to see our beautiful vehicles pull up in front of the Ferguson Center,
Definitely.
dropping off residents to and from. And so that's definitely getting into the season, because those tickets will be released here very quickly. They'll be mailing them out, and then it will start the season. I don't recall the first Broadway production. It's a little ways off, but a month or so.
We definitely have that on our radar
Good.
for sure.
And then I know there's also first weekend in October is the Newport News Fall Festival.
Fall Festival, yes.
I don't know if we've ever transported people to that.
I don't know that we have either, but Isaiah and I have been working on having our own fall festival.
Okay.
We were planning that for November and trying to make kind of our own kind of version of that, working with some vendors. So more to come on that, but that's something that I'm kind of working on in my spare time.
Well, it sounds like you have to have some cards, and all you have to do is walk around Newport News.
Oh, yes.
And there could be some that would come. You know, what you may want to think about, because I've done that before at a retirement
Have
community.
you?
We did
Okay.
it, and we had a pretty sophisticated group come in. Because they will book themselves so far in advance,
Right.
you may be good though offering a Wednesday, a midweek, because their bookings are often weekend big
That's true,
festivals.
yeah.
So if you maybe talk to a couple and say what, and they may say, well, a Wednesday would be perfect, or maybe a
Okay.
Tuesday, because that could occur here.
Sure.
And I just think that you could tailor it so that maybe they either give a donation for the table to goes to a benevolent or
Yes.
scholarship fund. Just say, hey, the fee you're paying is going to this. We're
Definitely.
trying to get good groups here, and just say, and it's limited to this number, and then you can just boast that 435 residents, 300 team members. Maybe put something out to invite family through that day.
That would be great.
Coordinate a little special at the cafe,
Sure.
or maybe we have hot dogs or something else grilled out, and we make
Or
those
even
available.
some apple cider and
Ooh,
just
could do that.
festive things
Yeah.
for fall.
Yeah,
Yeah, so our wheels are turning.
Good.
If you have any suggestions, let us know.
good. And I know you're also starting the wheels on Christmas.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
Christmas at the Chesapeake, second Saturday. Let your families know. So again,
Yes.
pre-advertisement for that.
I know, but it's coming so fast.
Yeah.
Very quick. Yeah.
Cool.
It's that time of year.
All right. So we've taken a reflection. We've looked at this week, covered it. The activities okay?
Activities
Talked
are
a little bit
okay.
about what's happening with some of these key positions we want to fill, but we need your help. I think you want to introduce something new
Yes.
for this
Before I
Today
do
show.
that, Brenda is having a big sale right now. So if you have not gotten down to that gift shop, all clothes are 50% off. I believe if you buy a fourth item of clothing, it's 60% off. So she's got some massive sales going on right now. I did lots of training with her the other day, so I can now fully operate that register.
Great.
She has things very organized in there. So it's just cool to see all that's really offered in the gift shop. I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many little everyday things that you may, I don't have that in my bag. Let me see
Yeah.
if the gift shop has it. 9
And
times
it's
out of 10,
special.
they do.
Good. Another one, I'm going to go to a different department that
Okay.
you're responsible for. Let's go back to the salon for a moment.
Yes.
Okay. And again, we were chatting in advance about not just promotions for you, for new residents to try the salon. Cheryl, Helen, they're great. Still looking at another stylist, but Daphne, who is our nail technician, has been with us. Delightful person, and just very, appropriately, she had the brainstorm, appropriate one, to say, we really can do better in how we handle manicures, pedicures in particular. So you got together with Keith. I think you guys are mapping out a way to create truly a chair,
Yes.
a station with plumbing and water to make it work effectively. And it was talked about, and the group that did recommend and produce those architectural drawings had it, but our previous manager didn't want the location of it. So it sort of got mixed around, which is unfortunate, but you guys can fix it.
Yeah.
We sort of say we're going to make this an emergency funding. And you may say, why would we emergency fund this? We know that having your nails done, and particularly even, the pedicure and taking care of that is important. It's easier and more comfortable than perhaps even having a podiatrist do it. It took us a long time to find Daphne, so we just have to really let her know. So I'm sure you let her know. Hopefully she'll smile,
Yes,
if not already,
she's very excited.
about it, and just say we heard her and we wanted to make it her effective and efficient, and appreciate her suggestion.
Definitely. And there's so many extra add-ons that we can have just having that station available. So it's going to be really nice.
Good. All right.
So we ready for the new thing?
What's your new idea?
Okay, you all have your thinking caps on? So we are going to do a brain teaser. Those that have come to my brain fitness, brain boosters class for a while knows I like to incorporate that brain fitness because it's important. So today's brain teaser, I'm going to give it to you all, but not with the answer. So you have to call me to say what you think the answer is going to be. So here's the brain teaser for this week. Among timepieces, sundials have the fewest moving parts. What timepiece has the most moving parts?
A timepiece with the
Timepiece.
most moving parts.
Sundial has the fewest moving parts. So what has the most moving parts? So if you think you know the answer, give me a call. My extension is 1656, and we'll see if you're right.
Very good.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this may be your feature of the
Maybe
week.
so, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's fun. So brain teasers are good. Exercise the brain. You and I know we attempt to do a little bit with our management team on Wednesdays. We do a
do.
little bit of trivia.
That's fun.
Probably more than I should even do. I probably have to scale it back down.
No, it's good.
But it is. It just breaks monotony. But it is fascinating how the human mind works. And, information we'll recollect from way back. TV things we watch, cartoons we watched as a kid, all this stuff, toys. Once in a while, I'll think about a toy that I got for a Christmas. And we were pretty modest upbringing, but it's like, like right now, I can just remember this game, Silly Safari.
Silly stuff.
That was the name of it. And it was a board game. It had it was like a mousetrap game, sort of.
Yeah.
Silly Safari.
And hearing it just takes you back to those.
It does.
Yeah.
So,
that's nice.
you just ask trivia and say, can you tell me the most popular, games presented at Christmas in a certain era?
Yeah.
All fun. But
Excellent.
I think yours will be a good one. We can go so far. We can do episodes forever
Right.
on brain teasers
Yeah.
and trivia.
I'm game.
Good.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Well, that's happening. Remember, we have these to sell in
Yes.
Brenda's store, and we're waiting. No one has really given us incredible picture of somebody who's has this cup, this mug, in a distant place.
Nice.
I did my family in Ohio and a couple other things, early productions, but with this summer, people traveling. No, I did not take it to Spain, but maybe I will. I'll see if Isaiah can Photoshop one with me for my presentation.
There you go.
But anyways, we'd love to see these mugs travel about. Send them out as gifts. Ask your family to take pictures. Be neat to see.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. All right. So we covered it okay?
I think so. Covered everything.
The other thing, I hope that residents will give us favorable feedback, not just a brain teaser, but due to your efforts, Isaiah, and our dear friend, Crystal Searcy, we think we may have gotten these microphones working. So that not only will be a blessing for these productions, but also getting that technology unraveled so that our spiritual services are heard. So appreciated that help. You guys are taking good initiative. A lot of other little things you're getting worked out, so
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Other than that, in the future, look for additional tidbits onto this show. We're going to do some commercials and some other things. Some interviews will be coming up, but for this week, we'll sign off and thank you for joining Chesapeake Today.
Thank you.